making love.
That's right. Now, this is 1969. Frank is writing about Beater's organic robotoids 10 years before Beater goes into it. Remember, President Carter's organic robotoid. All kinds of people are replaced in 79 in the battles between the Bolsheviks and the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and the Zionists. So here's Frank, 5 years, from 64 to 69. Remember he said in the liner notes to the We're Only for the Money in 67, he said he had some awful premonitions, right? And the premonitions were going to continue. So Zappa, being the monster man he is, he could see through everything. Everything looked so fake and ridiculous. The hippie counterculture was stupid. The elections were stupid. Everything, and he decided that the machines had taken over. And so the title is Captain Beefheart versus the Grunt People. It's one organic robotoid android meme fighting another part of the android meme. Am I wrong? Isn't this pretty astounding?
Yeah, it is.
That's another sign of Frank Zappa showing hidden ground.
Yes. I mean, it's pretty amazing. And now we're going to get to Them or Us. What happens in the big book? I wonder, should we take a break and play a song?
Yes.
You want to hear a Zappa song?
Yes.
Something funny.
I'll play. Okay. Did you hear the music in the first couple hours, Roxy?
No, I was sleeping.
Right. So, because I knew you were coming later, I didn't wake you up for the beginning. So you slept in. So I played Briefcase Boogie, Brown Moses, and Wistful Wit a Fistful, 3 songs from Thingfish. So I'm going to play the 4th song, Drop Dead. It's near the end of the movie. Rhonda and Harry, the yuppie couple that went to the play.
Get happy or drop dead.
What'd you say? What was the first one?
Get happy or drop dead.
Yes, get happy or drop dead, right. Now, let's see. There's all kinds of typing going on. We'll have to deal with that later. So this goes on, I think, for 7 minutes. So this is a long thing. When you get to the last third, about the 5:20 mark, listen closely to what Rhonda says. Okay, so... what?
Rhonda is an inflatable sex doll.
Oh, you're looking up something?
No, I'm saying Rhonda is...
how do you know?
I read it somewhere.
Okay.
She's
actually...
inflatable sex doll, just like the other guys were robots. The Rhonda character is a sex doll.
No, it's more complicated. There is Rhonda and Harry, but there's also an artificial Rhonda, and Harry is a boy. And this is not the sex doll Rhonda. This is the real Rhonda. I'm pretty sure. But we'll review that when we go through the book. So, have I got everything up, ready to go?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. Yes. Now I got that blocked. Do I need to unblock that? Hello. Can you hear me, guys?
What's going on?
Oh, wait a minute.
Sounds like Bob talk.
Can you guys hear me?
No.
Yes. We're in another planet.
I just want to read you what you missed.
With brown... what?
I'm going to read you what you missed. Rhonda said we were wearing little transmitters, little receivers in their severe terminal buns. Their hairstyle was buns. We even had room left over in there for all of our most favorite little embroidered, delicate, secretly feminine, childlike, helpless, pathetic, sentimental, totally useless, personal girl things that smelled like the stuff they put in the toilet paper. And then you heard it came back in at this point, and she goes, you played golf. You watched football. You drank beer. We evolved. We only look like Wandas and Rhondas. We are superb, Harry. We are sublime. We are perfect in every way. So I will now start up. That's about where we were.
Here, Ionette.
Back. Yes, right. Forcelings. Or maybe not. Ionets might be better. Okay, so we got that here. Put that back up there. Just a second. All right, this fucking Bill's network can't take the intensity. You guys can hear me?
Yes.
We are the ones with the strands. We are the completion. We are the people who are not you.
So, what can we, she says, you are the all-American cocksucker jizzing. See, Harry went homo, gay or something, or I think he fell in love with one of the Mammy Nun dolls. Jizzing all over your leather cocksucker costume after beating the snot out of yourself with a rubber mammy. Yeah, he beat the mammy on himself. I simply can't respect you, Harry. You are no good. Go ahead, smell the pen. Go on. I'm wiping it, Harry. There you go. During this, the lights have dimmed, leaving Rhonda in a spotlight. Harry crawls into the spotlight circle and assumes the traditional pose of the RCA dog, you know, the record player dog, begging to sniff the pen. Rhonda moves it higher and higher, torturing him. His nose finally reaches it. Francesco stands nearby, fetishing Abdullah, and one of the little mammies. The track for No Not Now is played backwards. The first words are meant to be Harry's reaction to the odor of the writing utensil. Then it says, not really Harry's voice. He says Epsom sauce backwards. Then Thingfish comes in. So hopefully this will be heard.
Ground control. Kate Kennedy. We're lost in space.
I hear you.
Hello.
Why can't I hear anything? What did I do wrong?
Well,
we hear you, Bob, but it's like you're in the background. You're not online.
I know.
There is a dimensional problem. Get me a Pepsi or something.
Okay, well, I'm going to I start the song over again. It's a good song. It's a good song. You know, it's worth.
This is the sound of the dynamo hum.
Yes.
Here's this is how a dynamo
Bob, your
hum.
voice is still in the background. We don't hear everything.
What?
We hear your voice, but it's like you're in the background. It's not like you're online.
Oh, yeah, because I'm using the other mic. Yeah, don't worry about it.
He's fucking some green girl in the moon.
Yeah. Right.
Stop masturbating. You're on duty.
I'm using on Harry's chest. Okay, so let's resume.
Okay.
I'm going to mute you guys.
This is the sound of the moon ballet, electronic moon ballet from
Mumbai, India.
Adorned with the laughing of birds.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Bob,
yeah.
we don't hear all your words. We can't hear all your words.
Stop
Okay.
the love feast. Come back.
I figured out what's going on here. Okay, mute that. Bring up that. Put that down there. Okay. And then turn me off. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Electronic.
You know what happened? You know what happened? This is in the book, and I'm reading the lyrics in the book. It fucking ended because the song ended. I thought we were going to hear the whole rest of the play. I forgot we were just hearing the song. You know what I mean? The reason it stopped is the song stops, and then so I've got to read you the script. Well, we'll do that when we get there. We got to go back to the beginning, but I was expecting the whole book would be musicalized, but no, we just heard the song, and then it stopped, and then there's a script here, but that's not audible, right? No, it's not audible. Okay, so was that funny enough? You wanted a funny song? Was that good enough for you? Did you hear that whole women's lib scenario? The women's conspiracy? While you became lawyers and accountants and read Playboy and bought a pipe, there's a direct attack on me, bought a subgenius pipe. We planned and dreamed and fucked our briefcases while you weren't looking. Yes, Harry, that's right. And we've actually been able to reproduce ourselves that way for years, Harry. But you never knew, did you, you worm? This would be that thing, somebody's list, Emily's List. You know what that is, Bert? Emily's List?
That was in the news a couple months ago.
Yeah, all the boomer women who got into politics and got some executive positions, they all formed a tribe and started electing politicians, female politicians. So it's the tribe of women, Emily's List. They're very influential, so supposedly now. You know what I mean? They have some kind of power in the obsolete institutions while the CIA continues its surveillance. And so this is describing that. And Frank is predicting this. I don't think, when did Emily's List form? Let's just check that for a minute. What year did Emily's List? Emily's List.
85.
Our history. They're pro-choice democratic women. A network. An evolution, a movement. Look at this. Emily's List, the largest national resource for women in politics, was created by Ellen Malcolm in 1985. They were influenced by Frank. This came out in 1984, and they read it and said, that's what we got to do. We got to form a secret society. And it's designed to fund campaigns for pro-choice democratic women and strategically torchlight the balance of power in our government. The name Emily's List was an acronym for Early Money is Like Yeast, i.e. it makes the dough rise. That's the pun that Ian's always using. Jesus Christ, Ian's been quoting the Union of Feminists. The saying is a reference to a convention of political fundraising that receiving major donations early in the race is helpful in attracting other later donors. Early money is like yeast. Now we know Emily is more than a slogan. She's a candidate, a voter, an operative, a member. If you sought out this website because you want to ignite progressive change in your community, Emily is probably you. And as catalysts of change, we've changed too. Today's Emily List goes beyond fundraising with a strategic approach to recruiting. They went beyond fundraising now to recruiting candidates, winning elections, and mobilizing voters. We are a driving force behind many of the campaign victories that bring the progressive decision-making power of pro-choice democratic women to office. In 1985, 25 women, Rolodexes in hand, gathered in Eleanor Malcolm's basement to send letters to their friends about a network they were forming to raise money for pro-choice Democratic women candidates. So there's a picture of Ellen Malcolm. So this is what Frank inspired a year before. Rhonda says, we had special atomic glasses made by women optometrists who promised never to tell. We learned how to hide secret stuff wrapped up in the middle of those severe terminal buns we wear. Little transmitters, Harry, little receivers. Oh, don't pretend to be surprised, Harry. We even had room left over in there for all of our most favorite little embroidered, delicate, secretly feminine, childlike, helpless, pathetic, sentimental, totally useless, personal girl things that smell like the stuff they put in the toilet paper. You played golf. You watched football. You drank beer. We evolved. We only look like Wandas and Rhondas. We are superb, Harry. We are sublime. We are perfect in every way. And you? What are you? You're the little all-American cocksucker, jizzing all over your leather cocksucker costume after beating the snot out of yourself with a rubber mammy. I simply can't respect you, Harry. You are no good. Go ahead. Smell the pen. Go on. I'm wiping it, Harry. There you go. And so during this, the lights have dimmed, leaving Rhonda in a spotlight. Harry crawls into the spotlight circle and assumes the traditional pose of the RCA dog, begging to sniff the pen. Rhonda moves it higher and higher, torturing him. His nose finally reaches it. Francesco Zappa stands nearby, fetishing Abdullah. Then the track for No Not Now, played backwards, happens. And the first words are meant to be Harry's reaction to the odor of the writing utensil. I guess it smells like Eben sauce to him. Epsom sauce. So that leads to the last 3 pages, but we'll leave that for when we get there. Would you like another Zappa music?
Yes, I was reading about Rhonda. Yeah. She evolves from the younger Rhonda is like a rubber sex doll.
Yeah, right.
And when she's older, she becomes a feminist, fascist.
Right.
And Harry becomes homosexual as a result of the women's liberation movement. So that's why she's insulting this little man.
Yes, he's been fucking everything in the theater, and she's been outraged throughout most of it, so she's pissed off. And I think that's the last scene of them. That's the last you hear of them, because it goes over to, there's a little more Ron. Yes, a little more Rhonda, and then it's Francesco and other important people like the President of the United States, Ronald Reagan. They end the thing. So what do we do? So we're going. Are you guys ready to hear about Hunchentoot? Are you ready to go to the next script?
Yeah.
It won't take us long. You're getting the point here that you have a concentration moon. I should play that. Let's play Concentration Moon. That song. Okay, so that would be over here. Album by artist. We're only for the money. Scrolling down.
I was thinking all these hybrids of robotic. He's actually seeing all the things you're saying about the Android meme and all this human-invented technology.
Exactly. That's what I'm impressed with. Is we're going to see that in the next, after Hunchentoot in the book. It's pretty amazing what he lays out. We're going to
and it's funny because this living technology behave as bad as humans. They do all this.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, so I'm going to play Concentration Moon. Make sure everything's... this is from We're Only for the Money, so this was written in 67, or recorded in 67, released in 68. That goes there. And I think this is it. No, I didn't hear the sound.
Nothing is sounding. Bob was.
Just a second. What's going on? What happened? You can't hear it?
No.
No. There has
nothing
been
at all came through.
I blocked something. Sorry, I'm glad you spoke up.
The moon beings are sabotaging.
You heard a minute and 19 seconds of the song, and you didn't hear it. I heard it. So let's start over again. I must have clicked on that stupid mic, that one. I forgot to unmute that one. Okay, we'll do it over again. Concentration Moon. Okay, listen to the lyrics.
Not playing.
Not playing? What the fuck do I have to do here? Sound is in headphone position. Volume is up. What are we doing wrong? Oh, maybe it has to be on Soundflower. Oh, because it's coming from my system. I figured it out. Okay. Wow. I forgot this is not on Bill's template.
This
coming from my computer.
Against the volume.
Yeah, I'm muting you too. Email me if you fucking can't hear it. Okay, here we go. Oh no, we have to move it back. Then again, I'm not going to mute you. It'll probably screw up, so I better hear you screaming. Okay, I unmuted you. If it go, come on now, let's be polite. Let's be polite and listen to this. I'll compromise. Okay, Concentration Moon. Wish I was back in the alley. Listen to this. Hello.
Hello.
Oh.
I can be heard.
What was that last song, Bob? What was that last song with that Fuzz and Wah Wah?
That's called Deathless Horsey. A horse that doesn't die. Deathless Horsey.
That was the pony sent to the space that was dying.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, when he did the theater piece at Garrick Theater in the spring and summer of '67, it was called Absolutely Free, Pigs and Repugnant. So the pigs are, you'll see, an important thingamajig. And then he has a lot about ponies in the content of Lumpy Gravy. So pigs and repugnant, or pigs and ponies, that's the dialectic. And ponies goes way back to Cecil running the ponies ride in '64 in Cat Beefheart versus the Grunt People. So this punny pig dialectic. So Deathless Horsey is from 1981, Shut Up and Play Your Guitar, a series, 3 albums that Frank put out with just nothing but Zappa instrumentals, guitar instrumentals. So that was one of them. So let's see if there's anything interesting uttered in the chat line before we go to Hunchentoot. Utney. We did that. Eric Utney. Minimax says Trump is a truth teller because not financially dependent. We did that. Trump is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Still looking, catching up. So my foster daughter, when I said we can't use the word God, creator, divine, and then she said, how can creator be limited? I said something, and she said, expected you would say that, but if we are speaking in words, what are the best words to describe ascended post-humans? L-Truth says smotelings. Eliza says, or the smoters. And then they start bragging. There, Bob, we came up with the new name for gods, the smoters. Laughing my ass off. So they're going nuts over their own creativity, which has only had one syllable. Now somebody starts objecting to it. And then the new title, Post-Humanism Smoters. Oh, no, it's going to get longer than that. The post-humanism smoters of hypertexting. Then L-Truth said, this is good music here. Madeline goes, yeah, this is great. Madeline, I thought angels were the smoters. L-Truth, yeah, Liza, we can't take angels' function from them, can we? Madeline, thou shalt not kill. Got to stick an angel on them, says Madeline. Minimax goes, smotelings, yes. He votes for that. Madeline laughs. E-Truth laughs. Minimax goes, attentionaires. Attentionaires. Minimax, ascended post-humans. Yeah, we don't do the smoting. We order the angels to do it. But NVR in anger. Someone 224 goes, hoops. And then Eliza says, I'm trying to come up with a good name for the post-God. So put it in your suggestions. L-Truth says, oh no, 224 starts flirting with the foster daughter. Empress, I got a brand new clothesline. L-Truth says blank. Sarah says, let's play word association. Someone says, such a cool song. Sarah, little Sarah says, Zappa, what do you think of? And she says, okay now, Yemen, and you think. And then Sarah, little Sarah says, I wonder if the dissonant ambient funk was recorded separately from the dialogue. So they're talking about some stuff we were playing a long time ago. So we're up to date on that. We can go back into our bubble and explain everything. So you guys ready for Hunchentoot?
Hunchentoot, yes.
Yes. That was the horny spider, right?
Yeah.
That, what? What about the spider?
Hunchentoot.
The Hunchentoot was the horny spider of
the giant spider. Yeah. In the cast of characters says, we got Drachma, Queen of Cosmic Greed, an evil 7.5-foot space girl, so we're back on the moon, who lives on a mysterious unknown planet, well, not the moon, but similar, and who obviously has a sinister plan to conquer the very Earth itself. So is this Frank afraid of women's lib or something? He keeps projecting these women that want to take over the planet, these monster women. And Hunchentoot is the giant spider, and she is Drachma's miserable, hyper-negroid, harmonica virtuoso love slave. Harmonica virtuoso. Dirk is a shifty earthling con man of the future and part-time religious fanatic who leads a group of mutant alpha meditators known as the Forcelings and also plays a little trumpet. Yes, you've identified.
My leader. Yes.
Okay, so did I read you the details of the setup, the instrumentation? I think I read some of it, right?
I don't remember that.
Okay, so Hunchentoot's costume headgear will provide concealment for wireless mic number 1, which is received and processed through the first ring modulator to make his voice deeper and gruffer before it is broadcast through the PA. Drachma's costume breastplate will contain a sort of cosmic telephone operator's microphone holder for wireless mic number 2 to be processed through phaser 1 for vocals and or the balance modulator for dialogue. The balance modulator, or Moog frequency shifter, has a stereo output which will enable Drachma's voice to ascend in pitch on the right side of the theater and descend in pitch on the left side simultaneously, providing a suitably mysterious effect which is easily controlled. I remember reading that. The orchestra is subject to mixing and processing through the 2 voltage-controlled filters, the 2 envelope generators, the 2 voltage-controlled amplifiers, the 4-channel tape delay, in brackets Sony Quad 1/4-inch machine, and the EMT reverb. Sectional outputs may be governed by keying from other voices or instruments via the keypexes. The keypexes will be used to eliminate noises, shuffling, mumbling, waiting, coughing, etc., from the chorus mics, the 3 wireless mics, the narrating mic, and the brass section mics. This device automatically turns the volume down on a given audio channel when there is not sufficient information coming through to trigger it. This will greatly relieve mixing problems. The device can also be used to turn other instruments or voices on or off in relation to a specific pulse. The bass drum could key the intermittent entrances of a held chord in the brass.
Yes, you read that, I remember now, but it's very interesting to listen again. He's giving all these technical specifications for the characters to create like different types of filtering and paneling to create these surround effects, which I found very interesting.
More of the technical harmonic climates, and he's got new technology to do it. So he's like really into the inventions that have come in over the last few years. At that point, he's really spotlighting the new advances in the studio stuff.